Most of us tend to have an innate love, affinity, and deep appreciation for nature. However, through our day-to-day lives, we have become so disconnected. In fact, a lot of us will spend 93% of our days indoors, and this will often be in a controlled environment, such as our workplaces, classrooms, shopping centres, but even our homes. So a weekend hike up a mountain, a stroll through a national park, or a relaxing afternoon at the beach becomes our main outlet to engage with nature. But what if we could experience those same emotions and benefits of being in a forest, but at home? That's biophilic design, a concept to increase our connection to the natural environment. In 1984, Edward O. Wilson, an American biologist, naturalist, and writer, defined biophilia as the urge to affiliate with other forms of life. And it's worth mentioning that biophilic design is not a single or isolated occurrence of nature in a home or building. Instead, emphasis needs to be placed on the repeated and sustained engagement with nature. But how do you achieve biophilia in your home? Although this won't be an exhaustive look, 7 principles to get you thinking about biophilic design. Light and air. Being able to experience natural light and air is fundamental, allowing us to experience day and night and the ever-changing seasons throughout the year. The most obvious method of bringing light and air into our homes is through windows and skylights that are operable. This allows us to experience the weather patterns, giving us views to the clouds rolling in. The operable windows allow us to smell the incoming rain, and consider a deck to sit outside and hear the raindrops, as well as listen to what I call poetry, but it isn't. This is just terrible. Vegetation. If you Google biophilic design and you click on images, you're met with buildings that are just full of vegetation, and for good reason. It is one of the most successful strategies to directly experience nature in your home. Plants can reduce stress and help with air quality, but there needs to be an abundancy to it. Just having a single plant in the corner of your bedroom is just not enough. Now is not the time to practice, less is more. So think about constructing landscapes both internally and externally, and even perhaps consider a native green roof. And make sure you focus on local indigenous flora, which will help with habitats for local wildlife. Water. The experience of water engages so many of our senses, such as sight, sound, touch, taste, and movement, all of which helps in relieving our stress. There is just something about sitting next to and listening to running water. And while I'm not a fan of tacky water fountains, more natural ponds and features are a great way to integrate water into your home. Another option is your location. So if you live near a river or a lake, consider your views and connections. Just don't go chasing waterfalls. And if you're watching this video to get some ideas on how to incorporate biophilia in your own home, you'll want a tool to help you plan and organise. Thankfully, the sponsor of this video can help, Milanote. Milanote is a tool for organising your creative projects. Have you ever seen inside a creative studio and they have things stuck up on a wall everywhere, such as sketches, reference images, ideas, notes, and diagrams? Well, Milanote is just like that, except that it's entirely online. The walls are infinite and you can access it from anywhere. Milanote is a place to collect and organise all of your thoughts and ideas, put together checklists of everything that needs to be done, visualise and gather inspiration, and set a visual direction for a project. Milanote gives you a bird's eye view of everything that's going on. And when you're ready to share your work, you can invite your colleagues and clients, gather important feedback, and collaborate with them in real time. Starting a project is usually the hardest part, but Milanote makes it easy, with over 100 built-in templates available for designers, photographers, filmmakers, and more. I'm currently using Milanote to see how we can incorporate more biophilia into our own apartment. I've been creating some mood boards and colour schemes and saving ideas for furniture pieces and dreaming of some garden inspo since we don't really have any private outdoor space. Milanote is available for free with no time limit. Sign up using the link in the description and start your next creative project, which actually might be incorporating natural materials and colours in your own home. You can really evoke the sense of nature through the materials and colours of your home. Timbers and stones bring a real texture and warmth, as opposed to materials which are more machine-made. And when you combine this with natural light and landscape, there's a real peacefulness to the space. Also consider your furniture, furnishings and decoration. Maybe opt for a timber chair with natural fabrics, as opposed to something that is metal or chrome with plastic. And when you're thinking of a colour scheme, look at earthy tones, subdued browns, greens and blues, and avoid more vibrant colours when it comes to your paint, bed sheets, cushions, etc. Now, some of you know my feelings towards using fake timber, so I can't in good conscience suggest faking the look of timber, even if it's for biophilia purposes. So just stick to the real stuff. Patina. Nature is always changing, with our landscapes reflecting the forces of the natural environment. People tend to want their homes to be in pristine conditions for its entire duration, but I personally find real beauty in allowing your external timber to weather and silver over time. Of course, this doesn't mean you neglect and avoid maintenance, but consider choosing materials that will reflect the passage of time. Outdoor space. One of the best ways to connect with nature is to avoid disrupting it too much. So think about how much house you actually need and leave the rest open. So a smaller footprint will create more opportunity to open your home up to courtyards and outdoor spaces. But also consider how these spaces could become functional rooms in your day-to-day life. And this thinking also applies to the resources used to build your home, as a smaller home requires fewer resources, which then has fewer disruptions to nature. Relationship to place. Home should be culturally and ecologically relevant, given a much stronger connection to place. A Japanese or Danish vernacular home should never exist in, say, the Australian outback. There must be a connection to the land. And through local resources, construction methods, materials and detailing, you can create a house with real local identity. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't be inspired by other countries, but there needs to be an awareness of local landscapes, indigenous flora and fauna, as well as climate and weather. A fundamental shift needs to occur in our buildings, suburbs and cities, with a real emphasis needing to be placed on nature. Having a window that looks out to a tree is nice and all, but a real relationship and appreciation for nature needs to be developed for us to realise that we need to change how we design and build, as nature is the basis for a healthy, productive and meaningful life.